Well, meantime, fighting in Iraq seems to be getting worse. Libyan oil production is rising, but still very low. OPEC production is down, and now Saudi Arabia is getting angry over Iran. Simply put, the Middle East is a mess. Let's try to figure it out. Joining us now is Burton Hickok, chief economist at Tigress Financial Partners, former U.S. diplomat working in Iraq, et cetera, et cetera. You got a lot of titles there, but you've been to the region, spent a lot of time there. You know what's going on. I can't figure out. When I hear that now Saudi Arabia is rattling its saber over Iran, I'm thinking, who's on whose side? What's the puzzle piece here?
No, I think you bring up a very good point. Iran, from Saudi Arabia's standpoint, Iran is an existential threat. They are.
In what way?
Well, they are seen as funding and supporting the Shia fundamentalists in Syria, in Libya, in Egypt, in obviously Hezbollah. Well, that's a threat to Saudi Arabia.
But that's not new.
No, you're right, absolutely right. It's not new. You're absolutely right. But it hasn't stopped. But if Iran has been able to do this kind of involvement when their economy's on their heels, what happens when their economy gets better? What happens if the U.S. or the West decides to take some of the sanctions off because there's some progress on the nuclear front?
Indeed. What do you make of this news, the fact that the UN inspection report shows that Iran has basically halted nuclear expansion? How much will that go towards the effort to raise those sanctions? How much stronger will that make Iran? How much more angry will Saudi Arabia be?
Yes, all of that. You're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right. Saudi Arabia will, as I said, it's a threat to Saudi Arabia. What can they do to counter that? Their biggest weapon is, or their biggest tool is crude oil. So what if Saudi Arabia decides to keep on pumping oil past $80 a barrel, past $70 a barrel?
They can't, though. Their social programs require a certain level for oil prices to fund, correct? I mean, they can't drive oil prices down that much. Could they?
Yeah, they can.
What's their pain threshold for prices?
When I was in Iraq, this was only 2 years ago, both Iraq and Saudi Arabia had a political environment that they were comfortable with oil prices down around $70, $80 a barrel. Now, that's 2 years ago, and oil was at, I don't know, $115, $120 a barrel. So they already were comfortable with much lower
levels. Would Saudi Arabia really hurt themselves just to stick it to Iran?
I don't think it's viewed as sticking it to Iran. I think they view it as a national security issue for Saudi Arabia. They don't want to. They want to keep Iran down. Maybe it brings Iran to the negotiating table with Saudi Arabia.
So maybe it's a necessary evil for Saudi Arabia. Okay, but how likely is that scenario where they would keep those spigots open just to, as Brian said, stick it to Iran?
When the conversations that I've had with senior Iraqi oil executives, they're the ones who brought this to my attention. They're the ones who said, if the oil production, and this actually they were talking about relations between Iraq and Iran. And they felt very strongly that they could see Saudi Arabia use their power in production to reduce prices to keep the situation in Iran more challenging.
Where does this go? I mean, you know, they've got this Manouj, I think I'm mispronouncing it, this giant new oil field coming online in Iraq. It's small, but it's getting bigger. Or Majnoon. It could be one of the biggest in the region if it can avoid getting damaged by infighting. Will Iraq ever seriously become a 4 or 5 million barrel of oil a day producer?
They just finished. They just brought online a renovated oil platform in the Gulf of the Persian Gulf outside of Basra that raised the production, their export capacity there to 4.5 million barrels a day. Their highest level, I believe it was in August, was about 3.2 million barrels a day. That includes 500,000 or 600,000 coming out of the north, out of Kirkuk. Now, they've also going to build a pipeline to parallel that going to Ceyhan. The answer is they've got most of the global IOCs in Iraq pumping oil. There are security concerns. The Angolan National Oil Company is about to move out.
Okay.
Because off of the Nejma field in Nineveh. Okay. They're about to move out for security reasons. But I would walk on the North Oil Company in Kirkuk right now with no concern for security. So yeah, there are some areas in Iraq that are dubious. They're questionable, no question about it.
Yeah,
But
well, we got to
major
leave it there,
fields-
and we'll save the African discussion for another session, Burton, because we love your insight.
That's a whole different side of the Rubik's Cube.
Also a different continent.
It is. We'll get to Australia one.